You know, some people out there, when they talk, they fake the funk. You want brutally honest? Well, if you want brutally honest, look no further than CG Ruthless Sports.
CG Ruthless.
CG Ruthless Sports.
CG Ruthless.
If you want your sports talk to be brutally honest, come check out CG.
CG Ruthless.
If you're not watching CG Ruthless, I don't know what to tell you. Representing the Niner Empire.
CG Ruthless.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Sports Fury, Josh.
Hey, what's up, dude? Thank you so much, Ruthless Sports, for having me on to talk Bears and the 49ers.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this matchup, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
especially your Bears, man. So tell me about your channel and where they can find you, man.
Hey, y'all go check us out at The Sports Fury here on YouTube or also on Twitter at The Sports Fury.
Okay, man. So this matchup between the Niners and Bears, man, both are like evenly fair when it comes to the defense and it comes to the offense. What's your thoughts of your Bears, man, of the outcome going on?
My thoughts this upcoming Sunday is I'm a little worried about us because we have a ton of injuries on the defense. Khalil Mack is not expected to play. In fact, they're talking about putting him on IR. Robert Quinn, he missed last week. It's possible he might not be playing as well as Akeem Hicks. So, I mean, where's our pass rush? I mean, Jimmy G might not have a pass rush. We're going to need to step up there with all those guys possibly being out, especially Khalil Mack. So, I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, that might be a concerning factor, but you guys are going to catch a break with no George Kittle. He's still on IR. And possibly we may not even play our tackle. It depends on what's going on. But if you guys don't have a pass rush, this might be the game for Jimmy G to step up a little bit. But as far as your offense, it's like kind of resembles of us a little bit. Except you guys did the right choice by putting Justin Fields out there, and we have yet to make a switch.
Right. Yeah, we decided to finally put in Justin Fields. Well, Matt Nagy decided to finally do it, and it was time. Starting a whole new era. And I know you guys have been waiting for that for Trey Lance. I wish I could say we're going to see Fields versus Lance this Sunday. That would have been great.
Yeah, but it's going to be Jimmy G versus Justin Fields, unfortunately. But, yeah, I think that the more you give this kid, the more reps, it's going to get him better. I think he's just going through the growing pains, and that's a start for you guys. I mean, how'd you guys be able to pull an upset on the Raiders? That's kind of like a team you guys should have lost to.
The Raiders, I felt good about that game. I thought we matched up well with the Raiders. And I felt the one I really felt good about was beating the Cincinnati Bengals. That was a tough win. That was a tough win. For sure.
Nobody expect the Bengals to be any good until I didn't expect them, but I guess they are a good team this year. Like they just blew out the Ravens, but you look at your Bears, it's like, yeah, you guys beat the Bengals. You guys beat the Lions. You definitely beat the Raiders, but there was games where what happened? I guess Tampa Bay, you got Tom Brady, so that's understandable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one guy that I'm worried about from your offense, though, you have no Kittle, but Deebo Samuel, he's been having a phenomenal year for you guys.
Yeah, he's been mostly our focal point of our offense. Like, besides Kittle, it's kind of been like he's been the go-to guy. I'm just concerned that we're not using Ayuk as much. Like, we're using those other guys, and I'm, like, thinking, why did we give up so many draft picks last year, and we still didn't give this guy more of the targets? Right. It's like a lot of this BS stuff about him being a doghouse, and I'm, like, thinking, man, we can use a little bit more of Ayuk. Man, I think our offense will be a little more scarier, but instead they're giving it to Deebo and quite a few other receivers. But when I look at your guys' receiving core, you got Allen Robinson, who's like your go-to guy. But then there's this guy, Darnell Mooney, who's actually standing out. What's your thoughts of him?
Yeah, Darnell Mooney. He's been incredible for us. He's a great speedy guy. He can get some good separation, and he's been a favorite target for Justin Fields. Not so much Allen Robinson, who has not haven't been having a great year this year, and it sucks because he has been like our best offensive weapon for some time, and this year he just seems to be kind of half-assing it out there on the field, not getting separation. I see him stopping on a whole lot of routes and not really giving Justin Fields another option to throw the ball down to. So, but Darnell Mooney, he's the guy. If we have to move on from Allen Robinson, he ends up going somewhere else. Us Chicago Bears fans, we feel like we have a wide receiver one in Darnell Mooney.
Okay, so you feel very high on Darnell Mooney,
Yeah.
but here's a question from Amin the Dream. Question for Josh. Do you think Allen Robinson will resign with the Bears?
No. I was really hopeful going into this year that he would be a Bear beyond this season. But now the way he's playing, the chemistry issues between him and Justin Fields, it just seems completely off, and I expect him to be gone.
Okay, so you expect him to be gone. So what was your thoughts about it when you guys made that move to get Justin Fields in the draft? Was it kind of surprising? Because I didn't know if any Bears expected him to get drafted. I thought you guys were going to get other needs.
Yeah, did not expect that whatsoever. I would have been happy drafting Tevin Jenkins at 20, call it a day. Let's go. That's what I wanted. But then we trade up, and usually this would be a terrible thing because, we've traded up before and it didn't work out for us at all. But we trade up and we go and get Justin Fields, the guy who was one of my favorite players going into the draft. And I did not expect that at all. And that was a huge moment, and I just lost it. I was so happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was surprising. Like quite a few Bears fans were like saying, hey, I didn't think we needed to get a quarterback. But then you guys did sign Andy Dalton, and then you guys thought maybe he would be the guy. But, man, it wasn't too long for him. I guess he was just that injury away, and then Justin Fields kept on building that momentum right there. What was your reaction as soon as they pulled that plug on him?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us Bears fans just wanted to see it happen because he has so much potential. He has much more upside than Andy Dalton because he can make plays with his legs. He's very athletic and just a much more dynamic quarterback. And that's just something that us Chicago Bears fans have been waiting. I've been waiting for that my whole life. A true franchise quarterback. I've never had it. The closest to it was Jay Cutler. That was the best we've ever had.
Yeah, Jay Cutler was good, but he was a draft pick from the Broncos, but he did really good for your franchise. But like in all perspectively, like I think this is what's good about the Bears situation at quarterback. Like Justin Fields is your future, and you can definitely build around and give him the building talent around him. I just feel like your defense is really good, but for some reason, I guess, like you said, those injuries have been hurting your defense a little bit, especially in the pass rush. Like you were telling me about Robert Quinn and those other guys being out, that kind of hurt you guys a little bit. But here's a guy that I'm intrigued by. He happens to be from my city of Fresno by the name of Jalen Johnson. Can you give me some thoughts of that guy? Like he's really good.
Jalen Johnson, dude, he was a gem for us. Another one of Ryan Pace's gems. Jalen Johnson, he's the guy that Ryan Pace felt comfortable moving on with Kyle Fuller because, I mean, we signed Andy Dalton. We had a lot of money tied up towards that. So we let him go, and Jalen Johnson's the guy, and he's been incredible for us.
Yeah, he's been really incredible for your guys' defense. Like, I guess he's one of your best shutdown corners right now. Like, I'm just looking at the statistically, he's like one of your better players, and I'm like, wow, I'm happy for that guy because even though he's from over here, but he came a long ways.
Absolutely, incredible young kid, man, no doubt.
So, okay, as far as your matchups, what's more concerning for your Bears facing my Niners? Then I'll give you my first takes about how I'm concerned about your Bears.
One, I'm really concerned about stopping Deebo Samuel, man. You look at what happened last week, and as much as I love Jalen Johnson, and I'm still hopeful that Eddie Jackson, could go out there and make some plays and stuff like that with our secondary. It is pretty weak outside of that. And Mike Evans last week destroyed us. Those wide receivers killed us last week. And I'm kind of worried about that with Deebo Samuel. I feel like he could possibly have a really big game against us, especially if we can't get to Jimmy G and he's got time to throw. I'm worried about that.
So that's the more worry factor. Like, I'm more concerned if your defense can hold up to us. I just feel like our offense hasn't really done enough. Like, I think if you guys make stops, that might concern me a little bit because we're playing a team that's hungry. A
Yeah.
hungry team like the Bears, they're determined to bounce back. Usually a team like the Bears who are hungry, they are determined to get a win. So it's like that's the scary part. And you're playing at home, so that's a
Yes.
scary factor.
And the other side of it, I'm really worried about our offense. Y'all's pass rush, Bosa, going up against good pass rushes and pass rushers, we have looked terrible this year against Cleveland. Last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As soon as that ball snapped, within a blink of an eye, Justin Fields is getting pressured, he's getting hit, he's getting sacked. He's the most sacked quarterback in the league right now. I'm worried about that too.
Yeah, especially Bosa. Then you got a lot of our defensive line. I mean, they're very good. Like, Bosa's going to come to him. I mean, I don't know who your other tackle is, but I feel bad for that guy. But it's like you look at everything else, like what I think the Bears have the advantage of when it comes to facing the Niners is the mobile quarterback. I think it comes down to our defense. We cannot stop mobile quarterbacks. It doesn't matter if Justin Fields is running for his life. He's probably going to pull a Russell Wilson and run away a little bit. And that's one thing we need to do is stop these mobile quarterbacks. And if you guys can do that, it can wear out our defense a little bit more.
And that's what I want to see from Bill Lazor, our offensive coordinator, who's going to be calling the plays on Sunday. Matt Nagy, he won't be on the sideline. He got COVID. And I want to see some designed run plays for Justin Fields. I want to see more of that athleticism. I felt like we saw more of that in the preseason than we have been able to see it here in the regular season. Let's get him out there. Let's really spread his legs, literally spread his legs and see what we can do here at home.
Yeah, you want to give this guy the comfort of his like the way he plays his strength, play up to his strength a little bit. And then I'm pretty sure if you let Justin Field loose a little more, it's going to be hard for our defense. Like, we just haven't been able to contain these kind of quarterbacks, like especially guys like Jalen Hurts. Look at Wentz. Wentz is not even the fastest quarterback, but he was mobile enough to run through us. And that's the most scary part about facing you guys is you got a mobile quarterback, and that's not going to be easy. So even if your quarterback is the most sacked quarterback, he might break a couple tackles here and there and make some good plays. Let's see another question. Do you think Matt Nagy will get fired after the season if the Bears do not improve? What's your thoughts?
Oh, I hope so. He should be fired. I'll say that. All of us Bears fans, Bears media, we absolutely all agree he should be fired. But the crazy thing about it is the McCaskies, the front office of the Chicago Bears, what we all see as the obvious and what they see are two completely different things. He should be fired.
Yeah, I get how some fans feel, and then you got the perspective of the front office. This is just the same way we feel about our team too. It's like Shanahan, you need to bench Jimmy and go with Trey Lance, and you guys are thinking the same way about Matt Nagy. Get rid of him.
Absolutely, man. Another guy that I'm really excited about, though, seeing this Sunday, and I'll be at the game in person. I know I think you said you're gonna be at this game as well.
No, I'm gonna be at the Niners versus Cardinals game next week.
Niners versus Cardinals? Okay. Well, I'm really excited to see Khalil Herbert, our rookie running back. David Montgomery got hurt. He went down. And also Damian Williams, he went down. And then so the rookie Khalil Herbert had to step up. And I was really excited about this kid because he looks really good coming into the draft. And, man, this guy has been balling ever since he was given that role. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, speaking of Khalil Herbert, there's another guy that happens to be balling out too, and he was a late round pick himself, Elijah Mitchell, man. Like, damn, these are like two late round gems. The Bears got themselves one with Khalil Herbert, and then the Niners got themselves with Elijah Mitchell. I don't understand why we even drafted Trey Sermon in the first place if he wasn't even the guy.
I have no idea. That is a mystery to me. You not only did you draft Trey Sermon, but at one point you started playing him with Elijah Mitchell out and everybody out, and he played well. And then once everybody came back, it's like y'all acted like he never existed or doesn't exist. I can't make sense of that. I don't get it.
That's just the front office for you guys, man. That's just how we are, man. We're very clueless, especially drafting a cornerback in the third round and the guy in the fifth round's better than him. Can you explain that to me? Why you even draft a guy from Michigan? He hasn't played much of a snap since the Lions game. Then you got the guard from Notre Dame. barely getting dressed up for the game, but you get the guy in the 5th round playing the swing tackle. I can't understand it too. That's a head scratcher right there. But I think it's a lot to do with the late round draft picks. We always tend to find some good ones, but in the early round picks, it's not our good luck. Outside of those other picks, if you take away the 2019 draft pick, we've been terrible in the first.
Yeah.
Ever since they came, the Solomon Thomas was a big mistake. The Reuben Foster, that was just a hit and miss, and it was just really terrible. But then when you look at it, remember a time we made a trade with you guys and just got the 3rd round picks out of you guys on those trades, and you guys want that quarterback?
Yeah, Trubisky.
Yeah,
right.
I thought it was a good move, but then at first it backfired us a little bit.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad though, because at first I thought y'all robbed the hell out of us.
Yeah, we did at the time, but a lot of people are just more hopeful about the Bears. But I think this is going to be a really good game, and everybody else. And then you got your boy Big Play Slay, this Eagles fan over here.
Big Play Slay, what's good? What's up, man? What's up, Corrupt?
What's up with it, man? So there's another player in mind, like your tight end. How you feel about your tight end, Cole Kmet's, whatever, the one you guys drafted last year?
Our tight ends. I mean, this was something that the Bears fans were excited about. You got Jimmy Graham, who looked pretty good last year, especially in the red zone. The excitement of the emergence of Cole Kmet being under the wing of Jimmy Graham. I mean, we have a whole bunch of tight ends. That was always a joke, too. Oh, the Chicago Bears, they have 1,300 tight ends on the roster, and we don't use any of them. We don't use these guys. They're not targeted mostly a lot in these games. It makes no sense to me. Horsted, he's also a really good tight end. Where's he been at? Why don't these guys get more targeted? Last week, I saw some targets go Cole Kmet's way, and the dude was so surprised he couldn't even catch the damn ball when it was thrown to him. Like, I don't know. I just don't know what the hell our game plan is. What you guys are thinking.
Yeah, but then outside of our position, when it comes to our tight ends, that's usually our strength. But for some reason, we're not able to utilize like a lot of them. Like we mostly give it to Kittle, but when it comes to Ross Dwelly, like he's a really underrated tight end. Like he'll catch the ball, he's not that quick, but he can separate. And I'm surprised that they're not even using him a lot since Kittle's out. So it's like, why not just give him the targets? He's really good.
Exactly. You know what? And it's tough. It really is. When you look at our roster, you see a lot of money tied up to guys who are just not playing right now. Andy Dalton, all that money. Nick Foles, we trade up for him. I mean, we traded for him, not playing. He's a third stringer. And then Jimmy Graham, we paid him all that money. He's barely on the field. It just sucks, man. It just sucks.
Yeah, it does when you don't use them. That's kind of like the same way with the 49ers, especially not using Ayuk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We can agree on one thing about our teams. When we invest some players in the draft pick, we're not using them. Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
and
it's
I just hope during this offseason we could unload some of this money. And Allen Robinson, since we're not going to be re-signing him, I don't think. We can go out there and try to get some help in our secondary because we could really use it.
Yeah, you guys can use it just like we do. Look at our secondary. We got a lot of guys coming off the streets. We got old man Josh Norman out there. We got old man Dre Kirkpatrick out there. It's kind of like we've been kind of suspect with that since we invested too much on Ferret. That's what backfired us a little bit because you think that this guy would stay healthy for a full year? No, you're sadly mistaken. That backfired us, and I feel like that was a mistake.
Right. Yeah. And man, I'm looking at you guys. You guys have been on a 4-game losing streak? A 4-game losing streak. You guys need this win badly. Bad.
Yeah, we do because this is a slump. Like we have to play good, but then you guys are hungry because after coming off a blowout loss, usually a team is like pissed off and they want to come back with urgency, and we have yet to come back with that. Like ever since losing to Seattle, it's kind of or Green Bay. Ever since losing to Green Bay, it's kind of like took us all the way back down. Seattle, for some reason, shouldn't have never beat us in the first place, but they did. Arizona, we came close, but no cigar. And then the fact that we lost to the Colts in a raining game at home, it's embarrassing. But now we're coming to Chicago, which I think you guys are more hungrier, but we got to play with more urgency out there. And I
Yeah,
feel like
I
if
agree.
we can't beat you guys, forget about the season. Might as well just throw in the towel, but I think it's a long ways to go.
Yeah, man. I kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel the same way. We absolutely need to get this win. We have a brutal schedule. It's not like things are going to get better for us or easier for us. And with the 49ers being 2-4, you guys, I feel like are beatable, even with some of the guys who are going to be out. And I just keep waiting for us to take that big step, especially with Justin Fields. And he says himself, he's like, you know what? I feel it. I feel like my breakout game is coming very, very soon. I feel it. And I'm hoping with, with the fact that me being there in person, I hope I get to see that. I hope I bring a little good luck to the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields. And he breaks out. I'm sorry, buddy, but we need it badly.
Yeah, you guys do need it badly, but for us, we're on a 4-game losing streak, so I guess both teams need it badly. So this is kind of like an evenly fair matchup. Then there's just, there's a good question by the sports critic. I'll have to answer him on this question.
Buddy.
When will we start Trey Lance? That will be a matter of time. I don't know.
What's it going to take?
Ask Kyle Shanahan. We'll know. But
my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know when. That will be the question to answer. Here's a guy that's not familiar with you. He's asking how long you've been a Bears fan.
I've been a Bears fan pretty much my whole entire life. I was born, raised here in the state of Texas, but my father is from the Chicagoland area. So growing up, I would always watch the Chicago games with my father, and he's a diehard sports fan. You guys see how excited I get, how loud I get when I watch my team play on the live streams. I get that from my father. He's like that when he watches the games. When he's watching the Bears, he's watching the Bulls and the Cubs. And, that's where I get it from.
Oh, so you get it from your dad. That's cool. That's cool. I get the fact that most of my family were Dallas fans too, but my brother just gave me the purpose. He gave me the purpose to be the San Francisco. So it was like it was a team that just found my destiny. I know it's better than you probably rather me go with the San Fran than go with the Dallas any day of the week.
I'll tell you this. Growing up here in Texas, if it wasn't for my dad, I would not have still been a Cowboys fan. Nope. I think I would have probably been a Raiders fan or something like that. But no, I would not have been a Cowboys fan. I get that asked a lot too. Well, if you weren't a Bears fan, you grew up in Texas, would you be a Cowboys? No. Not gonna happen.
There's other fan base in Texas I've noticed. Like we got some chapters down Dallas and other areas. So it's like,
dude, there's a lot of football fans out here. The biggest football fan base that I've seen out here outside of Dallas is probably the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a huge fan base out here. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very passionate out there, especially the culture and all that. Like you can see some Steeler fans in California too, and other states. So it's like, then you got those Green Bay freaking Packers over there also. So like, damn, a lot of it. Like it just feels yeah. So I know as a division rivalry, when you look at your teams, it's like. I know, for example, for me, it would be Seattle because they've been our kryptonites, just like how Green Bay's been your kryptonites for quite a long time. So it's like anytime you play the Packers, there's just little hope for you guys. And then when we play Seattle, little hopes for us. So it's like,
bro,
man, what can we do to get over them?
My whole life has been owned by the Green Bay Packers. When Aaron Rodgers, he yelled, "I still own you." I'm like, dude, your franchise has owned us my whole life. When I became a Chicago Bears fan, they had Brett Favre. He owned us. And then from Brett Favre, it goes to Aaron Rodgers, and then he owned us. I'm wondering when it's our time. It's got to be our time soon, where we own them. And I hope that's Justin Fields owning them.
I hope so, man, because it's kind of like getting annoying that you see this all the time with one franchise owning a franchise, just like Russell Wilson. Ever since he's came into the picture, he's owned the 49ers. It's always been like that ever since they had Matt Hasselbeck too. So it's like, man.
Yeah.
So, all right, here's a good question. Who is your 4 favorite players from the Bears?
Okay. Well, right now it's going to be Justin Fields. I'm still going to stick with my guy, Eddie Jackson. I know he's not quite been the same since he's got that money, but he still has that potential of being a great safety in this league. So I still love watching Eddie Jackson. David Montgomery is also another one of my favorite players. And I'm going to go with Raquan Smith. I think he's so underrated as a linebacker. He got no love when they were ranking linebackers during the offseason from all this mainstream media. And he's having a monster season. I don't think people talk about him quite a bit. And this is a game where he can really he could shoulder the defense with some of these guys, being out and more possibly being out. Raquan Smith is probably my favorite Chicago Bear right now.
Oh, yeah. Like when you look at all the Bears' history, you look at all the great middle linebackers. You had the likes of Dick Butkus, Mike Singletary, and then you have Brian Urlacher, and now you're getting somebody like Raquan Smith, who's becoming one of your best linebackers. It's kind of amazing how you guys have a lot of great history of these linebackers.
So we do.
Like Monster of the Midways is what they would call their defense, I believe.
Yes, Monsters of the Midway. We are a franchise that always has a good defense and always has a good running game. We just find good defensive players and running backs. I mean, look at us. I mean, we got David Montgomery. We drafted Tariq Cohen. Hopefully he'll be back soon. And then we drafted Khalil Herbert. I mean, this guy had to step up as a rookie, and he looks great. It's just what we do. That stuff we're good at. Offense, getting quarterbacks and everything else, we struggle.
Yeah, there just hasn't been a great quarterback in franchises. I've seen you guys win. I mean, I've heard of you guys winning championship with no-name quarterbacks. Like you won it with the likes of Sid Luckman or something.
Well, those are back in the NFL championship days.
Then you got
but we won a Super Bowl with Jim McMahon. He wasn't the greatest quarterback. He wasn't some all-pro, multi-pro bowler, but he was a great character. And yeah, that's the one quarterback that we had when we went.
Yeah, that was one of the one quarterbacks that wasn't all that good, but he was good enough to manage the game for you guys. That's what matters. Like in those eras, I guess he would be like your Trent Dilfer or your Brad Johnsons.
Yeah, and just with a really big personality that fit us. That's one thing about Chicago. A lot of big personalities throughout the history of our franchise.
Seems like they're all happy to be here, even with the records. Like you guys have a proud representative franchise, and you guys have a NFC championship named after the coach or the owner, Alice.
George Alice, yeah. Papa Bear.
Yeah, that's the one that came with the original championships, and that's when anybody who wins a conference championship, they always talk about the Alice Trophy, and then the one that you guys hate to say, the Lombardi Trophy, which is the Green Bay Packers. But hey, that's the top of the food chain, I guess, for some reasons.
Why couldn't the Chiefs win that Super Bowl so that way we can call it the Lamar Hunt Trophy?
That's one thing you can agree on that part. But hey, Lombardi made history. I guess it could have gone with the Hunts, but it is what it is. So as far as I guess we got other people with other fans. My boy Ultimate Report, he's a good YouTuber of mine. So let me ask you some critical questions about which player needs to step up for the Bears. Just for you guys to have a chance to beat us this week.
Jalen Johnson needs to step up this upcoming Sunday, big time. And all of our offensive line, the entire offensive line needs to step up. I know some of these guys are down to our third stringers and whatever, due to injuries, due to COVID and everything like that. But our offensive line needs to step up, and our secondary needs to step up. And, if Khalil Mack, he's going to miss this game. If Robert Quinn ends up missing this game, these other guys, our pass rushers, they got to step up as well. Bilal Nichols and Eddie Goldman. I want to see these guys get some penetration. Alec Ogletree, so these are all guys that need to step up this upcoming Sunday and with these other guys.
For your chances to come into beating us, that would be the best strategy to go with. But here's another question from Corey again. I guess he wants to know why they call it Bear Down. What's the meaning of it?
Bear down, man. Not only do we use this, but also there's a college team out there. I forgot who it was. But it's just a long tradition. Just, bear down. Like you bear down, like buckle down and go out there and kick ass. It's basically what it is. Like just buckle down. and get into the game. Get your head right. Win.
Okay, so that's what the definition of a meeting. I mean, I would just ask for a Bears fan perspective, but I guess even before the Khalil Mack news came out, I didn't see Chicago scoring enough points to win.
Yeah,
This is coming from a division rival of mine, like the Seahawks, man. He's a Seattle fan.
right. I completely understand that. We don't score a whole lot of points. Our offense is one of the worst in the league, and in that, like I said, our offensive line needs to step up because we just don't give our quarterback hardly any time to even make a decision to throw the ball downfield to allow any wide receivers to get any kind of separation for Fields. Like none of that time is there. The offensive line is just getting destroyed, and they need to step up. I know it's going to be a tough task, especially against the San Francisco 49ers, but just have to, man. Got to give our guy a chance to make some plays.
Yeah. The way I feel about how we should be able to beat you guys is we got to stop Justin Fields from running, because if we can stop him from running and stopping your running game, I think we'll be able to do exactly what we've been able to do, is shut down most of your, like the offense. We did it with Arizona for a little bit, but if we could do it with you guys and then
I'm more worried about our side keeping him from running than you guys stopping him from running. Honestly, like I said, I hope Bill Lazor gets a little bit more creative with the play calling this upcoming Sunday and has some designed runs for Justin Fields. But I want
designs plays. Yeah, pretty much design plays to where it can make it hard for our defense. But for us, in order for us to beat you guys, we have to really run the ball. We really got to stop your running game, because that's what's pretty much been your strength when it comes to your offense. It's exactly the same thing with my team. We run the ball pretty well, but are inconsistent. The only thing we got going forward is Deebo Samuel. And if you guys can shut him down, it's going to be hard for us to figure out from here on out. So it's like our defense can make some stops here and there. For how long? That's where I feel like our offense is suspect. And I feel like this is a very favorable matchup for my team perspectively, because you guys don't have a really much of a good offense, just like how we don't have a good offense either, but we both have a really good defense. So it's kind of like, it's like a flip your coin, like which one's going to win.
Right, exactly.
So as far as your predictions, who do you predict to win this game?
I will go with the Chicago Bears to win. Like I said, this is a must win. We need to get this dub, go to 500, and lick our wounds and hope that we get some of these guys back who are going to be missing out in this game. I really hope that Mac doesn't go on IR. That would be terrible. But yes, I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears to win. I think we'll win by probably a field goal. I could see a game of 20-17.
Yeah, I could see it more of a low-scoring game where it's very close. Like, it's kind of like it can go either way. And I feel your confidence. I feel your pain a little bit. We're both going through the slump, but you guys are playing. You guys have a better record than us when it comes down to it. You guys won 3 games.
Yes.
So it's like one of those games are bounce back, and you guys are hungry. But when I look at the overall prediction, I think maybe we might come away with maybe barely beating you guys if we make some stops. But I think it wouldn't surprise me if you guys do beat us, because it's like, I don't know how we come up with different ways how to lose games when we don't even expect it. So it's like, how do you let a team like Seattle and other teams beat us when we are like the far better team? But when we're playing a Bears team that's actually not as bad as what they were. I mean, the Buccaneers, the Packers, take that away. I think you guys are a really solid team, but you just have some flaws on your offense, and it kind of makes me question, if we can make some stops on your offense, then we should be able to win. But looking at my boy, Ultimate Report, Nick Bosa will eat. I guess he'll be eating, but how many feasts he's going to eat on Justin Fields? That's the question. Elijah Mitchell, I got a good matchup. Elijah Mitchell versus Khalil Herbert. That's going to be intriguing, because those two running backs, who's going to produce on this game? That's going to be the intriguing part, because both our run defenses are not that great. So both of them are probably going to have a breakout game. So if you had to choose on your fantasy football lineup, would you even go with Khalil Herbert or Elijah Mitchell based by defensive matchup?
Oh, I'm going with Khalil Herbert. I mean, we're giving up virtually the same amount of rushing yards per game. You're giving up 119. We're giving up 122. And I think Khalil Herbert's just more dynamic, honestly.
Okay, so when we talk about fantasy matchup, would you still pick your Bears defense, or would you pick the Niners defense in this matchup if you had to choose?
If I had to choose a fantasy defense, I would choose the 49ers defense, because I think you guys could potentially get 3 to 5 sacks tonight. I mean, this game. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when it comes down to, I don't know if seems obvious, but would you even pick Debo over one of your receivers or not?
Oh, I would pick Debo. If I had to choose any wide receiver in fantasy this game,
Yeah.
Debo. Yeah.
Even if it's Darnell Mooney maybe being the sleeper, but you'll still go with Debo?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Debo if I had to put money on it. And Mooney would be a good sleeper. And hopefully he does have a big game.
Oh, you got him on your fantasy leader, though?
I don't have Mooney. I have Debo Samuel in one of my fantasy leagues. But
so you're hoping that he can get you points, but you want your Bears to win, so you want it the other way around.
Yeah, he can get the receptions and the yards, just no touchdowns. That'd be fine.
Okay, man, that's cool. But yeah, I'll come up to my prediction of this game. Yeah, it's going to be a little more close game. It's going to be very competitive. It's going to probably come down to maybe a field goal. But I do have my team coming away with a win with at least, I see it maybe coming into the 20s. So I think the Bears will score 24 points, and then the Niners will somehow just score 28 for some reason. Like you said, your secondary's kind of had some issues with stopping some receivers, and if Debo comes out on fire, that can be the X factor right there. And you haven't, like when you played the Buccaneers as receivers, they were just killing your secondary, and that's what the most concerning factor is. Debo can pretty much torture your secondary, so that can be the intriguing factor.
I'd be really excited if we could score 24 points. We average 14 a game, so I'll take that. Up to 24 points. Let's go.
Hey, you take the 24 points. Okay. So I guess, like they say, bear down. I guess we go down with the points. Yeah, man. So you're going to go to the Bears game on what day for this matchup?
Yeah, I'm going to this game. I'm going to be going, me, Sean. I'll be going with another 49ers YouTuber, Rocha Entertainment, and a few of our good friends. It's gonna be a group of 6 of us. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. Halloween day, Bears, 49ers. Should be fun.
Should be worth your time. I mean, you're gonna go all the way to Chi-Town and be able to have a little good time. What's the best place to eat at when you go to Chicago, man?
Well, there's Giordano's, which is a great deep dish pizza. Me and Sean went there last time we went to Chicago. We went to the Bears and Pittsburgh game, which the Bears won, by the way. And even though we were underdogs. So that's a great place to go get some pizza. It's very famous. But me and Sean, we always look forward to going to White Castle. It's one of our favorite burger places. We don't have any out here in Texas. So whenever we go up north, we always got to pig out on some White Castle.
Oh, that's cool, man. Like sometimes there's places we don't be able to go to. Like I know, for example, going to Texas, we don't have Whataburger, or else we would. I'm sorry, NY Pizza. John Jay.
And you know what? I haven't been to New York to try that pizza, so I can't exactly compare. But I just don't see another place in the world that has better pizza than Chicago. But I'll be the judge of that. I can't wait to go to New York and try it.
Yeah. Try the New York pizza, but then I heard the deep dishes in Chicago are the bomb, so it's like you can't go wrong with it. So everything else kind of says itself. Yeah, it looks like everybody's got all the questions they all need right here, man. Maybe in the coming futures, whenever you got the extra free time, maybe we can collaborate down the road. But as always, I appreciate you. Hey, you're a big Bears fan. I just wanted to reach out and just see what was going on, see if we can come up on this week. And I know you're passionate about your Bears. Every time I see your video, you're always saying the Bears, the Bears. And then every time it comes down to it, it's like, I guess you're just your own passionate fan. That's good, man. Most people just find what fits them purposely. Oh, I guess this guy's booing the deep dish.
Come on, man. 49ers Ultimate Report. You don't like the deep dish? Yeah, come on.
Hey, deep dish is bomb.
You love pizza and you don't appreciate the deep dish, man. Come on, that's a staple of pizza. I love it all, by the way. I love deep dish, thin crust, pan, don't matter. Pizza's great.
Yeah, thin crust pizza is a good light snack. Well, for some people, if they want to be on a diet, but deep dish for me and regular pizza, I just go with any pizza.
Yeah, any pizza's good, dude.
Any pizza's good, man. So,
but dude, thank you so much, man, for having me on. It was a pleasure to be here. I love talking sports with you, man. And in the future, if you ever want me to come back on, or Sean, let us know.
All right, no problem, bro. Appreciate it, man. Like I'm open for the near future, and plus I like what you guys are doing when it comes to your predictions and your sports take. I see you guys do your play-by-plays. It's very good. For those people who are not familiar with the Sports Fairy, this is Josh, the Bears fan. He's one of those most passionate fans when it comes to the Chicago Bears, and he's got his guy Sean, who's a Cowboys fan, which all right, I can't say much about it. But hey, they're good people. So definitely, maybe in the near future, if you guys want to collaborate them, they have a Twitter or something like that, and then they can come back. They can get back to you as soon as possible.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Josh, man. Appreciate you, man. Maybe near future, man.
Yep.
All right, man. Take it easy, bro. So CG Ruthless Sports and Josh is out, and you already know. Go Niners, and you can say go Bears.
Da Bears.
All right, bro. Easy.